So, what if I told you that a single weekend project on GitHub might just hold the key to completely changing how we all work? I know, it sounds like the beginning of a sci-fi movie, but this is happening right now. Let's get into it.
I mean, listen to this. This is how Andrej Karpathy, who is genuinely one of the sharpest minds in AI, introduced his latest project. It feels like he's describing some distant future, right? But he's actually talking about a real system he built and just put out there for anyone to use. This isn't a story about what's gonna happen. This is an explainer on what's happening as we speak.
So for a little context, Andrej Karpathy, this is a guy who is a founding member of OpenAI, former director of AI at Tesla, and his little project here, called Auto Research, does something that's kind of radical. It hands over the entire, messy, complex process of machine learning research to an AI agent that just runs on its own. Okay, now here's where it gets really clever. The whole system splits the work perfectly between the human and the AI. The human, that's you write the high-level strategy. You do it in a simple text file, program.md. You can think of it like you're the coach drawing up the game plan. The AI agent then takes that plan and gets to work, constantly editing and improving the actual code, a file called train.py. So, you're the architect, the AI is the tireless builder, working 24/7. And this slide just nails that shift. I mean, look at the old way on the left. That was a human, stuck in this constant manual loop of coding, testing, analyzing, over and over. But the new way? It elevates the human to the role of an arena designer. You're not down in the weeds anymore, writing every line of code. You're setting the high-level strategy. You're defining the rules of the game, and then you let the agent go play it out, completely on its own. So, how does this thing actually work in practice? Let's break down the mechanics of this autonomous loop. It's deceptively simple, but the power behind it is just immense. Okay, here's the engine. First, the agent makes a change to the code. Then, it runs an experiment for exactly 5 minutes. And this fixed time limit, this is the quiet genius of the whole system. It creates a totally level playing field for every single experiment. At the end of 5 minutes, the agent checks a score. Did the score go up? Great. Keep the change. Did it go down or stay the same? Nope. Scrap that change. Go back to how it was. And then the loop starts all over again. The agent is just constantly trying new things, learning, and relentlessly trying to find a better score. So what does that little 5-minute loop get you? Well, it gets you incredible scale. You can run about 12 experiments every hour. So you can just leave this thing running overnight, and you wake up to around 100 completed experiments. The agent has been relentlessly searching for better solutions while you were sleeping. But here's the thing. This is not just some clever hack for AI research. This project is a perfect demonstration of something way bigger. A new, fundamental building block of work. Seriously, think of it like the invention of the spreadsheet or email, a basic tool that's going to cut across every single industry. You know, as investor Craig Hewitt put it, this is the agent loop that's about to eat everything. The fact that it's being used for machine learning right now, that's not really the important part. What matters is the pattern underneath. A human writes a strategy, an agent executes it, and a clear metric decides what works. That pattern is universal. So let's give this powerful idea a name. The agentic loop. Right? As you can see, it's an automated, persistent process. An AI agent just iteratively works towards a goal, and it's guided by a clear success metric. But really, it's so much more than that. It is a relentless engine for improvement. It's a system that never gets tired, never gets bored, and is always searching for a better way to do something.
And you know, this idea of an agentic loop has been floating around for a little while. One of the earliest versions was actually nicknamed the Ralph Wiggum technique, after the character from The Simpsons. The idea was to just have an AI agent continuously work on a piece of code, kind of poking at it, making small changes. It was clumsy, yeah, and kind of slow, but it proved the concept. A persistent, looping agent could be an incredible tool.
And that evolution brings us to this really key insight from Y Combinator's president, Gary Tan. The loop is the hero, not the model. What he means is that the real magic isn't in how smart any single AI model is, it's the process. It's the relentless, tireless iteration of the loop itself that drives all the progress.
Okay, so if this loop pattern is so incredibly powerful, where else can we use it? Let's step out of the research lab and think about everyday business problems, because honestly, the applications are pretty much everywhere.
So what kind of tasks are a good fit for this? Well, there are a few key ingredients. First, you absolutely need a clear way to measure success, a score. The agent has to know if it's winning or losing. The process also has to be fast and cheap, so you can run thousands of experiments. And finally, and this one's important, failure has to be okay. The agent needs the freedom to try things that don't work without, causing any real-world damage.
Let's see this in action. Take a marketing team. Instead of spending a year to run maybe 30 A/B tests, an agentic loop could test thousands of ad variations overnight. We're talking different copy, different images, different headlines, and just report back with the winning combo in the morning.
Or what about sales? An agent could take your basic outreach email, start tweaking variables like the subject line or the opening sentence, send out small batches, and score them based on positive reply rates. It would just continuously refine the approach at a scale that no human team could ever hope to match.
How about recruiting? You, the human, set the criteria for the perfect candidate, creating a really detailed scoring system. The agent then just plows through hundreds or thousands of resumes, applies that scoring system to every single one, and bubbles up the absolute best matches for you to review.
Think about it this way. An advertising campaign stops being this static thing you create and launch once. It becomes a living organism. It's constantly evolving, constantly optimizing itself in real time to hit the strategic goals that you set for it. The potential is just staggering.
Now, this all sounds amazing, but it definitely brings up the big question. If agents are doing all this work, all this looping and iterating, what does that mean for your job? What's left for us humans to do?
Well, our jobs aren't disappearing. They're evolving. We're moving up to a higher level of abstraction. We become the architects of these autonomous systems. So our most valuable skills are going to be things like arena design, where we set the overall strategy, and evaluator construction, where we define exactly what good looks like. We're not in the weeds anymore. We're at the helm, steering these powerful new tools.
And believe me, this is just the beginning. Karpathy's ultimate vision isn't just one agent working alone. It's about creating entire communities of agents, swarms of them that collaborate, share what they learn, and, this is the best part, learn from each other's failures, so the entire system just gets smarter and smarter, way faster.
So that brings us to the final thought. As you go about your day, just think about the repeatable parts of your job. If you had to design an objective scoring system for your own work, one single number that defines success, what would it measure? Because whatever that number is, it might just be the first thing you end up handing over to an agentic loop.